Hi students, welcome back to Word Power Made Easy ka sessions. So finally we've come so far that we're already on session number 24th today, and we'll be doing 24th to 27th. And yes, you can see it on the screen that we'll be talking about types of conversationalists, right? So we'll be talking about that. First, I just want to congratulate all of you जो कि ये सेशंस continuously देख रहे हैं, मेरे साथ वर्ड पावर में इजी पढ़ रहे हैं. Congratulations. मेरे मेंटोर मुझको कहते हैं कि करत की विद्या है. So हम करते जाते हैं, सीखते जाते हैं, ऐसे ही चलता रहता है. और करेंगे नहीं तो सीखेंगे कैसे, राइट? सो पढ़ाई नहीं करेंगे, सेशंस अटेंड नहीं करेंगे, स्कूल नहीं जाएंगे, प्रिपरेशन नहीं करेंगे एग्जाम की, तो वहां तक पहुंचेंगे कैसे? हम अपने गोल को अचीव करेंगे कैसे? उसके लिए करना पड़ता है, मेहनत करनी होती है, चीजें करनी पड़ती हैं, पढ़ाई लिखाई, स्पोर्ट्स खेलना है उसको प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है, उसमें एक्सपर्टीज लानी पड़ती है, स्किल्स डेवलप करनी पड़ती है. तो बेसिकली यस, करत की विद्या है, hence proved, right? So let's just begin with our 24th session. I'm very happy. We've already done 23 sessions and we are finally on 24th. जल्दी ही हमारे all the 47 sessions जो हैं Word Power Made Easy में, वो हमारे खत्म हो जाएंगे. We'll be done with them and then finally जब हम last day मिलेंगे for these sessions, so we'll realize कि हमने काफी सारे words जो हैं वो समझ लिए, काफी सारे root words हमने समझ लिए. And yes, I know the light का problem is still there, but enjoy the background. Yeah. So and of course the session. चलो, करत की विद्या याद रखें, जीवन में साथ रखें इसको और आगे बढ़ते जाएं, है ना? हम सब आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. चलो, सो क्योंकि हम टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेशनलिस्ट के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से लोग बात करते हैं, और जैसे भी वो बात करते हैं, या वो नहीं करते, या वो कम करते हैं, या वो बहुत ज्यादा करते हैं, जरूरत से ज्यादा करते हैं, हम वो सब समझेंगे कि ऐसे लोगों को क्या कहा जाता है, एंड दिस टाइप ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेशन और द पर्सन who's involved in it, उनको किस नाम से पुकारा जाता है. So let's just see. Word number 1 is on your screen. Let me just select my pen. ASAP. Yes, it is taciturn. It is what? Taciturn. And what's a taciturn? Basically, you can see on the screen that it's already written that saying little. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? बेसिकली जो इंसान बहुत कम बात करता है, जो बहुत कम कहता है, कुछ भी, साइलेंस, अनरिस्पॉन्सिवनेस. yes, so ये basically a taciturn is someone who speaks so less to an extent कि you might feel that they're being unfriendly and they are not interested in having a conversation. A taciturn or somebody like that. I'm sure you know somebody like that who is like too quiet and they do not want to talk to anybody. See, there can be multiple reasons, but some people have it in their personality, right? Some people maybe have some trauma or something that they do not talk much. We never know, right? We'll never find out until and unless the other person will tell us, right? So, but taciturn basically is somebody who speaks so less that you feel that they're being unfriendly. But in reality, what it is that they are just like that. It is what it is. That's how they are. So just accept it. People, there are different kind of people, and you cannot judge anybody for anything in this world. But yes, we'll be judging some people, in this session. Let's just see. So, okay, so taciturns basically like to keep their mouth shut, even if they feel that they have something to speak, they do not speak, because they just like to be silent. So, origin, the word comes from what? A Latin root, which is tessio, meaning to be silent. This is so simple. Taciturn का मतलब if we look at the root word, it actually is that somebody who is silent or to be silent, right? So there are some synonyms for that, which are, you can see, silent, reserved, uncommunicative. We can also include an introvert for taciturn, right? So there are words like reticent, secretive, or closed lips, we can call them. That's there in the book, okay, or closed mouth. These are some words. So people who do not open their mouth, they just keep themselves shut, and they do not speak much. They seem to be very, very unfriendly as well. So these are the people. There's this term, particularly taciturn, is for those people, right? Yes, and taciturn basically is an adjective, right? So somebody's personality could be defined as a taciturn. She has a taciturn personality. Simple. Okay, moving forward. So things better left unsaid. Things better left unsaid is, this term tacit is called that. So something tacit is understood without needing to be spoken aloud. It refers to unspoken agreement or understanding. Note, a person cannot be described as tacit, but situations, agreements, or understanding can be. So basically, let's just define a tacit. Basically, this particular situation where no speaking is needed, and you know what's going on, right? And you understand that what's going on. Let me just give you an example of today itself. So I had a relative at home today, and they spoke something really mean, like really mean, or not about us, but somebody else. And my mother and I, we just exchanged a look, and we knew what it was. So what they were speaking was too mean, and they spoke it in an implicit manner. Like they did not speak it directly, but they mentioned what they mentioned. We could easily understand, not easily, just it was it was implicit. It was not explicit, but we could understand. So my mother and I, we exchanged a look. So it was like, actually, I do live with my dadi, but it's like, it's weird sometimes. So yeah, this is something that happens. Let's say you and your partner, you work in an office together, and there's an agreement between you guys that we would not talk much, but we would understand what's happening, right? So this kind of an agreement is called tacit, right? So yes, and the noun for the same is tacitness. So now let's just say reticent, preferring to stay silent. A reticent person avoids speaking, often because of shyness, embarrassment, or fear of revealing too much. So these people, they are reticent not because they just want to stay silent, but they are silent. They are, they have a fear of embarrassment. They feel that they might reveal too much. These people feel that if they would speak, they would just reveal one or the other secret that they're supposed to keep, uh, under the carpet. So these people do not speak because of this one fear. ऐसा होता है कई बार कि कहीं लोग होते हैं जो चुप रहना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उनको लगता है वो बोलेंगे तो they would just spill the beans or something like that. But yes, at the same time, these people are shy as well, and they have a fear of embarrassment. So related nouns for the same are reticence and reticency. Cool. Moving forward. Now there's this word called laconic, and we see that saying literal meaning much. If we look at the synonyms, it's brevity and meaningfulness. An adjective is laconic. So these people who are laconic are basically people who speak less, like they do not speak at all. But when they do, it actually blows your mind. They speak. So, okay, I had a friend named Khushi. So she used to speak too less, rarely. But whenever she used to speak, it was always something meaningful, and it would just, you know, uh, make our world flip upside down or something like that. It was like, oh, that meme, if you've seen, there are these people and they're like, oh, it's like that actually. So these are those people who say little, speak little, but very meaningful things they speak. So these are what? The adjective for that would be, yeah, laconic. So laconic speech, being concise and to the point, almost curt. The word comes from Laconia, Sparta, where people were known for their belief for sharp replies. Apt take them, right? I would just speak this much, but it would be sharp and meaningful, right? So it is from the name Laconia that we derived our word laconic, petty, concise, economical in the use of words, almost to the point of curtness, precisely the opposite of verbose. So what's verbose? Verbose is basically when somebody use too many words, right? Even if it is not required, right? They need just two sentences or two words, let's say, for a particular reply or something, and they use two sentences or maybe more. You never know. So these people are verbose who use, ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा बोलना is verbose here. So example, when Philip of Macedonia threatened Sparta, the Spartan king replied with a single word, if. I have no idea what was the situation, but it was there in the book. So I would like to make you curious, and I know the story. I am not going to tell you any anecdote, not interested in. So just go and Google it. So why he said if. So maybe I just thought, and I was trying to, make my own story. So I cooked like a story that Philip of Macedonia might have threatened them that we would attack you. And the Spartan king said, if, and he meant, if you do, we'll destroy you. Maybe, yeah. The synonym is petty, brief, economical with words. Somebody who is economical with words. Laconism, a short, witty statement. For example, somebody says that I am going to, okay, so you tell your mother that I am going to study the entire day today. And your mother says, oh, really? It's like that. Acha, acha beta. It's like that. Yeah, आपकी मम्मा ने कुछ कहा to कुछ आपसे काम कहा करने के लिए. And you say, no, I don't want to do it. And she says, that is quite meaningful. I'll just go and do that work. I don't want to be reprimanded. Yeah. Okay, when the words won't come, now we've covered laconic, reticent, taciturn, tacit. Write them down if you want to. Then there is inarticulate. What is inarticulate? What do you think? I'm sure that you've heard this word articulate. So articulate is basically when you are able to express your feelings and your thoughts, in a good way, as in very eloquently you're able to express yourself. You are good at it. So that is when you are able to articulate whether your feelings, your thoughts, or whatever you want to say or tell the other person, that is articulate. अगर हम inarticulate को देखें, so in stressful situations some people find it hard to express themselves. So inarticulate जरूरी नहीं है, it is in these stressful situations only, but कभी भी हो सकता है. Maybe you are not very good at expressing. So inarticulate का synonym हम कह सकते हैं articulate, which is it, and then there could be eloquent as well. Eloquent is one of the antonyms, opposite meaning words, anulom vilom, and articulate is its antonym. If we look for similar words, then inarticulate could be, I guess, unintelligible, unintelligible. I guess so. I'm not sure. I don't remember the spelling actually. So it's, yes, it's this only. Inintelligible. So is the synonym of inarticulate. This is one word I'm trying to give you. So in stressful situations, not only in stressful situations, not under the just under the stressful situation, but inarticulation can happen, or you might become inarticulate, or you are not able to explain, you are not able to express. It can happen in any case. Maybe you are stressed, maybe you are nervous, maybe it's just like that, maybe you are not in a mood, let's say, to speak much and to express much, or maybe it's just it, right? So you are inarticulate. So awkwardness is there, incoherence basically. Coherence चाहिए होती है हमको to speak anything, like to make the other people understand. It should be in a certain way, a particular rhetoric way maybe. So that is coherence, and inarticulate is incoherence or awkwardness. Adjective hai inarticulate, so use it accordingly. Moving forward. Now there is garrulous. Okay, so garrulous is my favorite word. I mean, I like it too much. I would tell you why. Because I have such people in life and I like to tell them that they're garrulous. And the fun part is that a lot of times they do not know what is garrulous. So they think that it's a compliment. Well, so garrulous is, there's this word called eloquent. I mentioned it. Eloquent, right? Which comes from a root word loq, loq, which is related to speech. Right? And when it's eloquent is a fluent speaker, right? When they speak, they make sense. They are a rhetoric speaker. They speak and you go like, oh, they make so much sense. There's coherence, there is clarity, there is sense in what they're talking, right? So eloquent person is that. Eloquent is the antonym of garrulous. Garrulous is somebody who talks a lot. Eloquent person also talks a lot, but they do make sense because they're fluent, they're rhetoric, they are good at what they're doing, so they are good at speaking and explaining to you whatever it is. Whereas garrulous people speak without meaning much, which means garrulous people talk a lot and they do not make any sense. Yeah, I guess you can relate now. So there are people in your life जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा बोलते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा बोलते हैं, पर उनकी बातों का कोई मतलब नहीं होता. I have no hard feelings for anybody, okay? Let me just make myself clear. Because it takes a lot of energy, but when you have people like that, just tell them that you're garrulous. Yeah. And then just give them a hug. So it's simple, and do not carry that feeling with you. Just walk away from that feeling. Just, vent it out and walk away. Simple. So adjective hai garrulous. Do remember this? Gave you a new word. So garrulous is derived from a Latin word which is garruleo, which means to chatter. A garrulous talker chatters away like a monkey. So I have never seen a monkey talk, really. But word power made easy would wanted me to give you this example so that you become curious to watch a monkey talk, because I am curious now. Though, yeah, I've heard them fighting. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, they do. They do. They do. They do. They are garrulous. Yes. Yes. I've seen them fighting. And it's a loud fight. Oh, God. Anyway. So now there's this word called banal, right? So banal is basically used for an unoriginal speech, which means it is cliched and treat phrases it has lacking originality, freshness, or novelty. You must have seen that some people just speak for speaking. And while they're talking to you, they might try to express it in a way that they mean it a lot. But you are able to feel that it is not, it's not fresh. It's not, they're just talking for talking. And they have no interest basically to have a meaningful conversation. So they lack originality as well. So, and they just speak what they're not, right? So these people lack originality, freshness, and novelty. So I'm sure you know such people, but it's okay. We are not judging it. Now there's verbose. So I talked about verbose in a previous slide, which was, I told you that people who, even when there's not much to speak, and the work can be done in just 2 or 3 words or maybe one sentence, they take a para. Right? So words, 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 people who overwhelm conversation with too many words and repetitiveness, repetitiousness, or so they are redundant, basically. They are what? Redundant. They speak one thing over and over again. They do not know how to speak precisely. They just speak and speak the same thing again and again and again. That's it. That is verbose. Simple, right? Now, verbose is from a Latin, which is verbal word. The verbose person is wordy, basically. Verbum is word. So they use a lot of words, basically. So somebody who, I'm sure you know somebody like that who uses more than the words required. So you can just tell them that they're verbose. So verbum, which is words about words. So there are more words which come from this root word, which is verb. So of course, the root word, the Latin word, is verbum, word, the main action word. What's a verb? It is used for any action which has been done or something like that. Something like that. Actually, it is that. So I'm writing. I'm doing what? I'm writing, right? So to write is a verb. So verbatim, verbum, word, word for word, repetition. This is verbatim. For verbose, basically. Example, he quoted the report verbatim, right? So there was repetition in his report. This is what they mean, right? So now there's verbum plus L, which is relating to, referring to words either spoken or written. Verbal ability, right? Example, a verbal agreement is made through spoken words. Yes, of course, we know a verbal fight is also there, which is called an altercation. Verbiage, Latin, verbum, an excess of words or the particular style of using words. Example, legal verbiage can be hard to understand due to its complexity. Cool. You can just take a screenshot if you want. Now, there's this word called voluble. So words in quick succession. Someone who speaks quickly and fluently is somebody who is voluble, talk a lot with great energy and enthusiasm. So when I was in grade 4th, I still remember there was this guy in my class named Aditya. He used to read quickly, and he used to speak quickly and fluently, read quickly and fluently. So I was so jealous of him at that time. I used to think that why cannot I read like he does, and why cannot I speak like he does? I was a kid, so I was jealous. So he was basically, so now I know that he was voluble, whereas back then I used to think that he is gifted with some sort of thing or whatever. But later when we became friends and we grew up, so I asked him that how come you speak so quickly and fluently. So he told me that his mother used to make him practice at home. He used to read at home a lot, almost for half an hour to 45 minutes each day. Her mother used to give him a book, and he used to hold it and stand in front of her and basically narrate the entire book to her. And then gradually he got really good at it, and then he was quick and fluent both. I'm jealous. I am still jealous because he's still my friend and he's too good at it. Yeah, so voluble comes from Latin volvo, volutus, to roll words, effortlessly roll out of the voluble speaker's tongue. Yes, this is the truth, that words flow out from their mouth, their tongue, like they are the god of words and speech. So these are voluble people. Now, just a second. Yes, so rolling and revolving words. If we talk about voluble, from Latin volvo, to roll, describes someone who speaks fluently and easily. Example of voluble speaker rolls words effortlessly off their tongue, which we just saw in the last slide. Now, if we talk about revolve, so including volvo plus re, which means again to turn or roll around. So example, the earth revolves around the sun. So this revolve has come from the same root word, volvo. So involve in is in, we know it, and volve, so include or engage someone, we know this. This is very easy. I've written it, I know, but I've written it so just that you can just take screenshot, and it is easy for you to note it down later, or even if you do not want to note it down, you just can go through the slides. So then there's evolve. E is out. Like it has come from basically ex, the root word ex, which is out. That is why, our exes are called exes for a reason, because now they're out of your life. So volvo plus e, out, to develop gradually. When you evolve, you come out of where you were before and you grow, right? You develop. The concept evolved over time. Cool. Then there's revolution. From revolve, it has come from revolve, a complete return or a radical change, especially in a political sense, can be revolution. And evolution, from evolve here, gradual development over time. Perfect. So now there's this word called cogent. Cogent. Words that convince, people who speak with clarity, logic, and persuasion. Logic, clarity, and persuasiveness is one other qualities they have, and the adjective for the same is cogent. So these people make logic, they are clear, and they are also persuasive. So they are not just clear and logical, they can be persuasive as well. They would convince you for whatever they're saying. They are persuasive, right? So these people are what? cogent. I would like to become cogent though. So, cogency, cogent, cogency in argument. Cogent, Latin is cogo, root word is cogo, to compel or to force. A cogent argument is compelling because it is logical and persuasive. Example, a lawyer's cogent argument convinces the jury. Wow. Cogency, the quality of being logical and convincing. So this again reminds me of one of my friends, and he's a lawyer. So of course, he's cogent. I'm going to tell him after this class. Stop being cogent to me. The sound and the fury, vociferous. Vociferous. People who speak loudly and forcefully, often without much content. I can only remind, this word reminds me of politicians, some of the politicians. I'm not specifically naming anybody. Yoo-hoo. Noise and vehemence is one of them. And vehemence is basically when you are being vehement. So it is that you are being forceful and you are being loud. That is vehement, basically. So adjective, vociferous is an adjective. And we can, you can learn it through this word. Yes, vociferous. Vox, vocis, ferro. Like these are the words. Vox means what? Voice. Ferro means what? To carry. Vociferous. These are the root words. Vocis, voice, ferro, to carry. Let's see. Vociferous, noisy or loudy, carrying a lot of voice. Vociferate, to shout or make a loud vehement noise. Vociferousness, the noun form for a loud, boisterous quality. Cool. So vociferous all are related to voice and kind of they're related to noise, voice and noise and loudness. Why? Because it's to carry. So it's forceful, kind of forceful. So wherever now we'll see voci and ferrous, we would just understand that it's related to either voice or to carry or to something forceful. Loquacious. Adjective is again loquacious. So who is a loquacious person? Loquacious is somebody who talks too much. For example, I was a loquacious person. So IOUS is the root word. It is IOUS is full of. Even I forget sometimes, So IOUS is full of. So loquacious is speech, right? LOQ. There are other words as well. For example, LOQUIS, I guess. This is also the root word for this. Meaning is same. So loq was the easiest to learn. So I learned LOQ. Yeah. So it is used for speech. So loquacious is somebody who is being loquacious means you speak too much. Like you are talkative. You like to talk. That is loquacious. And from loquacious, there are many words. For example, if you see eloquent, it is also that. If you see colloquial, it has LOQ. That means it is also related to speech. If you see circumlocucious, it also has LOQ in it, right? If you see somniloquent, it also has LOQ. Now we'll just see that how these words are related to speech. All right, so LOQ, I told you I just put an extra S in LOQUI. So, but it means to speak, a root found also in what? Loquacity, loquaciousness. So to speak, it is related to speech. Soliloquial or soliloquy, a speech to oneself. Why? Because soli means solo, alone. Loquist plus solus, which means alone, and a speech when alone. हम एक अपने आप से बातें करते हैं ना, that is what soliloquy. Right? Now we know the word for that. Guys, अभी तक हम सिर्फ बोल रहे थे कि I was talking to myself. But no, it's what? It is soliloquy. Ventriloquism. And somebody who is a ventriloquist. Ventriloquism and ventriloquist. So, बेसिकली ये क्लास के वो लड़के हैं. इफ यू अगर जैसे मैंने बोला ये बेसिकली क्लास के वो लड़के हैं, तो आई आई एम श्योर अब तक तो आप समझ गए होंगे. बट ये क्लास के वो लड़के हैं जो क्लास के एंड में कहीं बैठ के कोई बतख की आवाज निकाल रहा है, मे बी कोई गधे को मिमिक कर रहा है या कोई मुर्गे की आवाज निकाल रहा है. And the teacher, the innocent teacher, she's just, or he's just sitting in the front and is trying to figure out who is it. But this man, this boy, this person is so good at it, good at ventriloquism. He's a good ventriloquist. How? Because वो आवाज निकालता है, but nobody knows कि actually he's the one who's doing it. Even I've seen people when I was in school, that the teacher is standing right here, they would be taking out the voice and the teacher wouldn't know कि कहाँ से आवाज आ रही है. And I am a teacher now, oh my God. So I'm happy to be one, but now I know that how difficult it might get sometimes. So the verb is to ventriloquize. This is the verb. So did these people do? They ventriloquize, right? And somebody, if you've seen that puppet show, there's this man standing behind and the puppets are just the puppets are talking, but they actually not they are talking, but the man who's standing behind is talking, but nobody gets to know that he's the one, making them act and everything. Like we see that he's making them act, but he is the one who's speaking. We hardly get to know, right? Though that is something we know, that the person who's standing, he's doing it, but you just cannot know because they speak from their belly, right? You do not see their lips moving, right? So that is it. So let's just see some of the words related to it. Ventriloquism and related terms. Root word is venter and ventris, which means belly. Which means belly. So ventriloquist appears to speak from the belly. Venter, ventris, loquer, speak. With what? Belly. So this is belly and speak. So they speak with belly, from their belly. The ventriloquist seems to produce sound from their belly rather than their mouth. Ventral relates to the belly side of an animal. Ventral, ventral side, front side. Ventricle, hollow chamber in the heart or brain, such as the heart's lower chamber, is called ventricle. Auricle, ear-shaped chamber that sends blood to the ventricles. Latin ouris, which means what? Ear. So this word has come from basically this root word, auris, which means ear, and auricle. Adjectives are ventricular, referring to a ventricle, auricular, referring to an auricle. Avuncular. So root word avunculus, which means uncle. Root word avunculus, Latin for maternal uncle. Cool. Avuncular refers to traits associated with a kindly protective uncle. Example, giving advice, being indulgent. Dorsal. Now there's this word dorsal from Latin dorsum, which means back, refers to the back side. Dorsal, that it's there in the dorsal. You must have heard this word. Example, dorsal fin on a fish. All right. जो fin होता है. There's a fish. Oh my God, what am I drawing? Okay. Oh, good. So there's this fin here. That's the dorsal fin. Okay. Endorse is to support or prove, as in signing the back of a check or backing a plan. So when you endorsement देते हैं हम. So if you're on LinkedIn, so you know that we endorse people. So endorsement is when you support somebody, right? Now, we talked about colloquial before. I just gave you that these are some of the words. So LOQ, which means it is related to speech. So colloquial is basically casual conversations that we have informally with our family, our friends. So these conversations, when they're not formal, they are called colloquial. Or let's say, if you want to say that somebody does not have money. So either you will say that she's got no money, or you would say that she's broke. And when you say she's got no money and she's broke, that means you are, the conversation is colloquial. When you say that she has no money, it becomes quite formal, but she's got no money, she's broke, is local language, right? Informal language, basically. And when it's similar to कि ए गरीब है क्या? मतलब you tell your sister or your friend, गरीब है क्या? So not literally गरीब, but which means कि पैसे नहीं है उसके पास अभी. हाँ तो वो गरीब, okay, whatever. So yeah. So but आप बोल सकते हो कि पैसे नहीं है आपके पास, rather than being so mean and so informal that you tell them that गरीब है क्या. So it's like that. So colloquial के लिए एक और आता है शब्द जिसको कहते हैं हम dialect. Dialect is also called used for local language. Dialect एक तो language होता है, देखो एक तो language होता है, ठीक है. Language होता है जिसके लिए हमको चाहिए होती है 3 चीजें. हिस्ट्री, ठीक है, जिसके लिए चाहिए होता है हमको लिटरेचर, एंड हमको चाहिए होता है हिस्ट्री, लिटरेचर, एंड वन मोर थिंग वी नीड फॉर लैंग्वेज, which is history, literature, and what? Grammar, the most important, and I forgot it. Okay, grammar, right? So grammar is needed for that. History, literature, and grammar are needed for a language to be official. For example, Hindi is a language. Punjabi is a language. French is a language. Spanish is a language. Then German is a language. Then what is not a language? Rajasthani, Marwadi. Why am I writing it? Okay, so Marwari isn't a language. It is a local language. It is a dialect. It is a dialect. Let's say Haryanvi is not a language. It is a dialect. It is a local language. आपने देखा होगा आप parents speak को एक तो अपने local language बोलते, जैसे my दादी वो बुलंदशहर की भाषा बोलती है. It's in UP, if you do not know. So वहीं की एक खड़ी बोली होती है, खड़ी भाषा होती है, वो उसको बोलते हैं, और वो उनकी, that's not a language because it does not have any history, any literature, or any grammar. It's just anything, right? So that is a dialect. So colloquial, dialect. Then there's one more word for a dialect, which is vernacular. Vernacular. So these are all what? Synonyms. Okay, moving forward. Talking around a point, I gave you this word called circumlocution. If somebody is being circumlocution, that means they are beating around the bush and they are not coming to the point straight, right straight up. They are just, you know, speaking in circles basically, and round around the main point. They are not speaking it, right? They're just trying to, you know, be indirect and they're beating around the bush. That is circumlocucious. So let's just take an example that maybe one of your friends, let's say, you go out with them, and you went out for some work, let's say, and they are like, यार भूख लग रही है लेकिन क्या खाना चाहिए, खाऊं कि नहीं खाऊं, समझ नहीं आ रहा यार, शायद मैं तो अपना वॉलेट लाना भी भूल गया हूँ. एंड यू टेल देम कि सीधे बोलते तेरे पास पैसे नहीं, एंड यू वांट टू ईट समथिंग, यू आर हंग्री, आई विल बाय यू समथिंग, स्टॉप बीइंग सर्कमलोकेशियस. It's like that. ये तो fun वाला हो गया, but it could be serious and negative also, that somebody is not coming straight to the point and they're just trying to, घुमाओ the baat and just make you understand. So that is circumloquacious, or a circumlocution is etymologically talking around, because circum basically means around, right? Eloque means to speak, right? And IOUS, this is full of. Cool. So if somebody is being circumlocucious, they are just not coming to the point, and they are being pathetic because they're not coming to the point. That's it. So adjective form is circumlocutory. Then there's eloquence. Eloquent speakers की हमने बात की थी. That is it. So eloquence, grandiloquence. Let's see. Eloquent comes from Latin word, which is loquer, and x from out, like e, this. So speaking fluently, excessively, and persuasively is being, is eloquent, or eloquent speech. And eloquent speech that moves the audience. It is so good, right? Now, if we talk about magniloquent, then from Latin, loquer and magnus, which is large, and grandiloquent means again like loquer plus grandis, which again means grand, large, grand, using lofty, grandiose language, which means they use words which could have been used in a simple form, but they use different words. For example, Homo sapiens is used for people, right? A member of the species Homo sapiens, you use Homo sapiens instead of people. है तो same ही चीज, right? But you call it what? People. You just want to tell somebody that you do not value things when you have it, and you tell them that you are that this particular behavior is phosphinoxynihilabilification. Yeah, this is one word. It has 26 letters in it. So this is called magniloquent. Magnus word means big. जैसे कि यहाँ Magnus is large and big. So magnanimous from Latin, Magnus, great, plus animus, mind. So somebody who has a great mind is magnanimous. Generous, on the other hand, is big-hearted. Example, a magnanimous person forgives easily. Magnate, don't be magnanimous. Yeah, do forgive, but do not forget. Which means be magnanimous and not dumb or stupid. Magnate. So Latin magnus, a powerful person, especially in business. Example, a business magnate like Elon Musk. Ooh. Magnify, magnifying glass. Magnus, facio, to make. So magnifying glass makes everything large. To make something appear larger or more important, example, a microscope magnifies small objects. Magnum opus, opus is work, magnum is great. So a masterpiece, the greatest work of an artist or writer, is magnum opus. Or even your word, which is your great work, could be called as magnum opus. Then there is sleep-related term called somnus or sopor, which means sleep. And somniferous means sleep-inducing. So, okay, so chole bhature, for example, are somniferous. to carry. So yes, if you eat chole bhature, you would want to sleep forever after that. Insomnia, the inability to sleep, because in can be negative as well. So it is insomnia, inability to sleep. Insomniac is a person who suffers from insomnia. Somnolent, drowsy or sleepy. Somnolence, to state, the state of being drowsy. Somnambulism, because ambul is to walk. So sleepwalking, somnus, ambulo, to walk. Somnambulist is a sleepwalker. Ambulatory, कहाँ से आया? Sure, ambulo, to walk. So ambulatory terms, ambulo, which is like to walk. Ambulatory, able to walk around, used in a hospital, if you've seen that. Perambulator, a baby carriage. True, per is through, ambulo, to walk. Perambulate, to walk through or stroll. Perambulation, to the act of walking around. Amble, to walk slowly and aimlessly. Yes, we do sometimes. We do amble sometimes. Preamble, introduction to a documentary or speech, etymologically meaning walks before. And example is this, if you can relate. I cannot. I left it there, so I'm so sorry. Soporific. Sopor, which means deep sleep. Sopor is deep sleep. So soporific, something that induces sleep, soporific lecture or medication. So these sleeping pills are called soporific. So yes, now moving forward, just believe, have a good night, good day, or a good evening. I hope it was almost an hour-long session. So I hope you've learned a lot of words, though I tried to, give the words right there so that you can just remember them or write them down. Writing them down is the best option, because when you write things down, you can remember them better, right? So all the best, do your best, and I will try to make you proud. You make me proud. It's a reciprocal relationship. Bye-bye. See you in the next lecture.